Hello everybody, have a good and safe day to you all. I again welcome you all, and today I made a little attempt towards biochemistry to determine and and simplifying its biochemical structures towards you all. I will going to discuss the pentose phosphate pathway today. If we compare different metabolic pathway like glycolysis and Krebs cycle, where the substrates are carbohydrate and ATP is produced in this method. But in pentose phosphate pathway, reducing equivalents NADPH and pentose sugar are produced. Due to formation of pentose, the pathway is known as pentose phosphate pathway. Then come to the discovery and importance of pentose phosphate pathway. The pentose phosphate pathway is otherwise called as HMP shunt or phosphogluconate pathway. It was first discovered in 1931 by Warburg, and it was partially described by Warburg because it only one enzyme, that is glucose phosphate dehydrogenase, glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase was only described by Warburg, after which all enzymes were discovered in 1940 by Dickens, Bernard, Lippmann and Racker. This pathway in plants takes place inside plastid. In case of animal, it is confined to the cytosol. In the cytosol of different tissues, such as the different tissues consist of liver, then lactating mammary gland, then in RBC, adrenal cortex of adrenal gland are specially carrying out the pentose phosphate pathway. It is mainly seen in RBC. Then come to importance of the pentose phosphate pathway. At its name, it produces pentose. We know the pentose help in formation of nucleotide. It help in synthesis of steroid and lipid by the reducing nature of steroid and lipid produced by using the reducing equivalents, that is NADPH, are used for producing lipid and steroid. Aromatic amino acid produced from erythrose 4-phosphate. This is the compound which produces aromatic amino acid. Different amino acids are produced for reducing reactions. It helps in initiating different type of anabolic reaction, because the pentose phosphate pathway itself is a anabolic reaction rather than catabolism. It do not yield ATP, but it produces NADPH and pentose. Come to the reactions of pentose phosphate pathway. The reactions are mainly categorized into two categories, such as oxidative and non-oxidative phases. What is the difference between oxidative phases? During oxidative phases, the oxidation takes place. That means the dehydrogenation takes place, where NADP is converted into NADPH. The oxidative reactions are non-reversible, during which glucose 6-phosphate is converted into ribulose 5-phosphate. It is a 3-step reaction. This is called as oxidative reaction because here oxidation takes place, that is NADP is converted into NADPH. And during non-oxidative reaction, it is reversible. It consists of two stages, stage 1, stage 2. What the difference? In stage 1, isomerization and epimerization, these two reactions takes place, where the pentose are the substrate. The hexose cannot enter into stage 2 into the non-oxidative process directly. In stage 2, it is a only link between pentose phosphate pathway and glycolysis, during which 3 steps takes place, carried out by trans-aldolase and trans-ketolase enzyme. This is all about reaction. We will go to detail about reaction. Remember, there is nothing hard to draw the structures of biochemistry structures in biochemistry. If we will draw the structure of the substrate, automatically the product can be recovered, and automatically the substrate for next reaction can be determined by us. So don't be worried about it. Please look at the structure. Look at the structure. It is the alternative form of glucose 6-phosphate. 6 carbons are there in the middle. It is the carbon skeleton. The hydrogen and hydroxyl are alternately arranged. The phosphate is added to 6th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th carbon atom. It is glucose 6-phosphate. It enter into the first step of reaction. It is carried out by enzyme dehydrogenase, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, which was first discovered by Warburg. I have described it already. During this step, what happens? We have to remove two hydrogen, just this hydrogen and this hydrogen. Then we can automatically draw the structure. The structure obtained after removal of hydrogen is 6-phosphogluconolactone. Then how can we write it? Just see here, the O remains, then another 6 carbon exist, 1 2 3 4 5. The 6th one is attached to phosphate here. As usual, everything here, from here the hydrogen gone, O group is here, and alternately hydrogen HOH, as usual OHH, HOH, then HOH, it remains. It became the structure after removal of two hydrogen. So NADP converted into NADPH H+. The product here, 6-phosphogluconolactone. It is the first step. Then come to step 2. Come to it, the second reaction is hydration, during which the 6-phosphogluconolactone in presence of water and hydrolase enzyme, water split into OH minus, H plus. OH minus is donated to it and H come to here. What happened? We can write the structure easily here. The CO group became COOH, that is glucose is converted into gluconic acid now. Then as usual, the other structure, 3 4 5. The 6th one is CH2H attached to phosphate. We have to write it HOH, OHH, HOH, HOH. This is called as 6-phosphogluconic or gluconic acid or gluconate. That means gluconolactone is converted into 6-phosphogluconate. Come to step 3. It is the final step of oxidative process, during which oxidation along with decarboxylation takes place. At this phase, the carbon dioxide is removed, the hydrogen comes here, the hexose is converted into pentose. Here 1 mole of CO2 is released and the reducing equivalents are formed. NADP converted into NADPH H+. How the structure we write here? Here the first carbon is lost and it becomes CH2OH. Here OH comes here, CH2OH. 3 4 CH2OH attached to phosphate. Remember, 2 hydrogens from this point, hydrogen have gone. So here only CO exists. The above group became CH2OH, HOH, then HOH. The product is a pentose, 3 4 5 pentose. This pentose is called as ribulose 5-phosphate. Ribulose 5-phosphate. It is all about oxidative reaction. Then come to non-oxidative phase. Come to non-oxidative process, we have already described. The non-oxidative is reversible. It consists of two stages, stage 1 and stage 2. In stage 1, isomerase and epimerase enzymes carry out the process. In stage 2, transaldolase and transketolase carry out the process. First, we have to discuss the stage 1 reactions. First, come to isomerization reaction. The ribulose 5-phosphate, the product of oxidative reaction, enter into isomerization process. What happens? Look at the hydrogen donated here, two hydrogens. So the upper group consists of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. That is, aldehyde group remain CHO. Here the CO group became the usual CHOH on either side, CHOH, CHOH, CH2OH attached to phosphate. This product is called as ribose. It is a pentose. Ribose 5-phosphate. This ribose 5-phosphate is used in producing nucleotide. Then come to epimerization reaction, during which the epimerization nothing further changes. Ribulose converted into xylulose. There is structural equivalence between ribulose and xylulose. So no hard to draw the structure, only we have to alter the groups in the third carbon and everything is as usual. This new product is called as xylulose 5-phosphate. Come to stage 2. Here the reactions are not given in the book, but the reactions are very easy. The first step, xylulose 5-phosphate and ribose 5-phosphate react with each other. This is xylulose 5-phosphate. This is ribose 5-phosphate. What happened? During the reaction, you should remember only the middle two carbons have been displaced to it. So it became pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate, and the remaining here, what remains? We have to write the structures. CH2OH as usual, CH2OH, C double bond O, C OH, C, these two, HOH, here, HOH, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, CH2OH attached to phosphate. It became C2heptulose 7-phosphate. C2heptulose 7-phosphate. What remains after the reaction? Mind it, CHO at the above, HOH, then CH2OH, attached to phosphate. It became a triose, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Come to step 7. Here, pseudoheptulose 7-phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate obtained in step 6 enter into the process. During the reaction, only remember the triose is converted into tetrose. What happens? One of the group, remember from here, it is donated to the triose, it became a tetrose and it became hexose. From 7 carbon, it remain that 6 carbon remain. So how the structure can be drawn? CH2OH, C double bond O, C OHH, C HOH, CH2OH attached to phosphate. It became fructose 6-phosphate. What happens here? Come to here. The glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate became CHO, HOH, another carbon added to here, CH2OH attached to phosphate. It became erythrose 4-phosphate, which is used in aromatic amino acid production. Come to step 8, the final step reaction of stage 2, where xylose 5-phosphate and erythrose 4-phosphate react with each other. Come to here, this is xylose 5-phosphate, it is erythrose 4-phosphate. Here the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate again formed and one carbon donated to here, so that the pentose became hexose and the erythrose 4-phosphate became glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Come to here, the structure is as usual, CH2OH, C double bond O, then as usual OHH, HOH, HOH, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It became fructose 6-phosphate. Fructose 6-phosphate. And here erythrose 4-phosphate converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. HOH, CH2OH attached to phosphate. These are the products of pentose. It was my attempt towards describing biochemical structures and different steps of reaction towards the pentose phosphate pathway. Please subscribe my channel. I will come with next editions of biochemistry.